Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's basically Monday, and we're back again with the crew. Today we're actually celebrating John's birthday. Welcome to the, how old are we? I don't know, whatever year of 30s, that doesn't matter, just like any other year of your 30s, except for when you actually turn 30. So welcome to another year of your 30s, John. Glad
Thanks.
to have
Yeah.
you.
Woo! They
Whoop,
can't
whoop.
see it, but I'm popping streamers. Not really. I should have. That would have been good.
Yeah, there you go. Wait, hold on.
Oh
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
There we
Actually,
go.
Yeah, young again. Young again.
Young again, but
Yeah,
never again at the same time.
I'm 32 and my knees are 47, but I'm still kicking. Yep.
Who played that? I need to know who came up with that one.
Oh man. Wait, you said you're 32, right?
Yep.
That's what you just said? All right. That's a good year.
Yep.
That was a genius.
Yeah, the board
That was a
metal.
genius trombone sound right there. Loved it.
Yeah, thanks Discord soundboard,
Yeah.
whatever.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, he was a hater, but now he's a user. Addicted.
Yeah,
No,
when we
I
used it
mean,
at the end of the last podcast, your face was so straight, like you did not budge, not one bit. Like there was zero reaction.
well, I wasn't sure if it was like actually not live anymore. It takes like 5 minutes after the fact to see if it's actually like not live. So yeah, typically I don't like to say anything after we cut off. But yeah,
So
so
funny.
yeah, you guys,
Yeah,
yeah, you guys just broke the
the
contract.
pack.
So now we're just like using them. So
Yep.
Yeah, okay, we won't do that too much because yeah, it would get super like retarded if we started using that all the time. But all right, well, we'll just get right into it because I don't want like people to forget what we just came back from. Like we took a little break and we've been going through some crazy stuff, and me and John kind of went through what we've been going through, but none of us have heard anything about what you did in Kenya. And I've actually been dying to talk to you about it, but I've been like trying to save it for today, like because I just figured like it would be something cool to like talk about on here. So yeah, so like I know nothing about your trip. Like we had like some contact, but you weren't really telling me like what was going on, and I wasn't really asking either because like obviously I had like a baby and everything. But yeah, so like how did it go? Like what did you do? Like I know like just like small bits of Kenya, so like my imagination when you go to this trip, I'm just like, okay, he's probably gonna like land in some like crazy like city and then like have to like take some like sketchy like chicken chicken farm truck like right in the back of it in the country for like 40 hours and then like fight off like rebels
You've
and
you've never
pirates.
you've never farmed, have you?
yeah,
Yeah, so like as a naive city American,
Uh,
this is like kind of like
chicken
obviously I'm exaggerating, but
chicken
like
farm truck. That's a crazy one. I've never heard of that before.
you
yeah,
know like in those movies where like the
Yeah.
main characters ends up in the wrong town on the wrong side of the
Yeah.
world and they always have to end up on some like guy who has
Yeah.
like chickens in a cage in the back of the truck. Like that's what
yeah.
I'm imagining.
No, it wasn't like that. But before I start answering those questions, I had a question for John. What is your like what's your like birthday meal now? I'm assuming it's changed, right? Or do you not even have one?
Yeah, I don't have one. People have
A
birthday
birthday
meals?
meal? Interesting, yeah.
Like a
Yeah, I remember like before you stopped eating animals, like wasn't it like pork chops and like
uh
fried corn and like all that?
oh, like my favorite meal? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
someone else would make for me? Yeah, that was probably one of my favorites. Yeah, so like my favorite vegan meal, like if I could have anything right now, it would be this stuff called shakshuka. And they make it at
Okay.
this vegan place in St. Cloud, like 30 minutes from me, and they only make it for breakfast. But it's it's like a God. It's if there was like a tomato scramble, it's like somewhere between like a scramble and jambalaya. It's got like a heavy tomato base and it's spicy, and they can like put fish or chicken in it, but they also do like it with tofu. So, man, every time I go there and I can get my ass up before like 11, then yeah, I just get that every time because man, that meal fucking slaps. I could eat that every day.
You thinking about making some?
No, I can never make that.
No, not
Yeah,
you,
you could.
Gouda.
I'm pretty sure you can make that.
Nah, Gouda can make it. Yeah, Gouda can make it. But I no, I'm not that seasoned.
Oh, well, yeah, that's interesting to hear. I've heard like a lot about that particular dish. I've never had it myself, but
Oh
yeah,
man, so good.
I'm familiar with it.
And now that I know
That's
it's like a
crazy. Yeah,
thing and
I
not
know
just something
nothing
they
about
made
it.
up, like now that I know it's actually at other places, if I ever go anywhere else, that's definitely going to be the thing I just sample everywhere.
Yeah, be like, so just hook me up with some of that shuka.
Yeah.
They'll
Yes.
be like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah. The true measure of a place is how good your shakshuka is. I'm probably
uh,
butchering how you pronounce that too, but that's okay because it is. I don't care. Yeah, whoever came up with that, good job. Good for you.
I think the Turkish people, somewhere in that area, they're the ones that came up with it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. That's the one.
All right. Okay. Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks.
All right. So, what do you want to know about Kenya?
You
Everything.
I
you're
don't know
gonna
how to
have to
like.
tell us everything.
I
Like,
thought
I
you
did
don't
you
know
said.
how to do
ride
that.
in the truck
Yeah,
with
tell
the
us about the
chicken
truck
cages? Like,
first.
did
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah, tell us about the truck first.
That never happened. It's not.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay, so
there are
it didn't
so.
happen, but like when you were in the truck, did they like lay a blanket over you and the chickens or just you?
I was never. I was in the truck actually,
Okay.
but there were no. There were
Was it
no
a flat
chickens.
was it a flatbed? Were there pigs?
It
Yeah,
was
did you
like
have to hide in the cages as well?
no. It was like an army personnel like pickup truck.
Oh man.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
God.
Wait, are you being serious now?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh
Golly.
That
shit.
actually
Wait,
happened.
what? An army personnel pickup truck?
Yeah. Like my dad knew a guy who's like a higher ranking soldier, and we needed a ride from. Okay, so
That's crazy.
God, there's like so much to
He's like,
even
look
like.
at me. I
Yeah.
am the captain now. Like that's all I'm imagining. And then like you guys just like cowering in
That
the corner,
guy,
like, please don't kill me.
that guy that you're quoting was actually supposed to be Somalian, and that's like, if you said that over there, like they would take
Yeah,
you. Like
I'm
they do
sure.
not like Somalians, so
They don't? Like Somalians in particular?
yeah, maybe I
Oh.
shouldn't say that, but yeah, no,
Huh.
yeah, it's very true.
Okay, noted,
Because
noted.
they border with them in the north, and there've been like some crazy stuff going on for like the past couple of years. So,
Do they
so
like
yeah,
Ethiopians?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, interesting, interesting. Wow. Yeah, see, that's
yeah.
the stuff I know nothing about. So,
I
okay,
mean,
realistically, like, I know you rode on this, like, big plane. Like, did it have, like, 2 floors or something like that?
no, I don't think they don't. That one doesn't fly anymore. I don't think. I think they retired that one.
Dang.
It was like a what's it? A Boeing like super jet, like a jumbo or something like that. But no, the
Yeah.
one that we flew on was just single, just one floor. But it was like I don't know. They had to have been at least like every section had like two little mini sections to it. So like first class had like two things that you have to like walk by, and then business, and then coach. So yeah, it was a very big plane. The middle row had 5 people in it, and then each side had 4 seats. So
Wait,
so
what's
yeah,
the difference between business and coach?
business is you get
It's
I don't know. It's like not it's like first class, but not as good.
it's Coach
Oh, okay.
Plus.
Yeah, it's coach plus.
Like, do you get to do you get to like lay down in your coach seats?
No. I mean you can. I mean no, not like all the way down. It's like
Yeah, you could just like kind of barely lean back a little bit, like in normal planes.
yeah, like imagine the passenger seat in your car, how far back that goes. Like halfway from there, that's how far back you can go.
Yeah, that's not very far.
No. And you're not supposed to do it. Like
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
probably
being
being
a
an
very
ass. Yeah,
yeah.
to the person behind you. If you just lean back that far. Wow, okay. So like and how long was this flight?
Uh, well, the whole thing. So yeah, there's so much to talk about. So the whole trip starts with a drive from here to Chicago, and then from Chicago O'Hare we fly to Amsterdam, and then so that first leg is like 16 hours when it's all said and done between like waiting and flying and boarding and everything like that. And then once we get to Amsterdam, it's usually a 4-hour layover. And then from Amsterdam to Nairobi is another like 12 hours. So the whole thing is like a little bit more than 24 hours when it's all said and done. Maybe like 20. I would say it's closer to 30 hours when all is said and done. From waking up that day to go to finally getting there and being able to like go to bed for real. It's like a
That's
36
crazy.
hour journey.
So then you finally get there. You have no sleep, basically, or like
Mhm.
limited sleep. Did anything crazy happen on the plane? I feel like every time I go on a plane, something crazy happens. And that's just like short 2 hour domestic flights. Like maybe that's also why something crazy happens because it's America and people think they can just pop off at any time. But
Mm,
yeah, anything crazy
yeah.
happen?
Yeah, since we didn't fly domestic. Shout out to KLM by the way. That is one good airline. They know what they're doing. Um
Okay, noted.
but no, nothing crazy happened. They were like on the ball. They're like literally perfect service on every leg of the flight on the way there. So
Nice.
no, I can't
Okay.
say that anything crazy happened. Um, I finally got to watch the Batman. That was good.
Wait,
And
which
You
one?
the newest one, the 2 hour one,
yeah,
or the
the
three
It's
newest one.
like
hour
three
one?
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
So
thought
it
it
you
didn't.
so
was
you liked
good?
It
it?
didn't feel like 3 hours at all. It
Really?
was. Yeah, it was
Wow, I'm
very well
shocked.
done.
I felt every one of those minutes in
Yeah.
that three
Really? Okay.
hours.
Me too.
Yeah.
I could feel every second tick by. I was like, I would rather be doing anything.
Some of the dialogues are just so long. I just, or maybe they were like short dialogues, but there were so many of them. I don't know. It just felt like before anything major happened, there were so many people that had to be talked to. And maybe I don't know, but yeah, I remember every piece of that movie. It is like seared in like at least it felt like it was 7 hours.
Yeah, it did. Like I remember when I called it quits was when they spent like a full 90 seconds like showing like the sounds of like Batman's feet walking up the stairs when he was like gonna go fight those bad guys in the beginning. Like it was like in the first half hour basically. And after that 90 seconds and then he finally like walks up the stairs and he's like, "I'm Batman." And he doesn't say that or whatever, but like he makes his like entrance. I'm just like, "Holy shit, that took four fucking ever." Like there was no dialogue, nothing else happening on screen, just like
Oh,
him,
when
just
they
like
were like looking, like they could hear him coming. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
just like, okay,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just like the thing is like to me they didn't even build up the significance of Batman in that movie for it to like be worthy of such an entrance. Like he seemed like he had no likable characteristics at that point in the film, and then to have that kind of a build up where I had to wait for that long, like I was already frustrated that I had to be around that guy, and then for you to like have such a grand entrance for him, like that, like I was just like, this is a waste of my time. Like I don't even want
Especially
to see him succeed.
especially with something like something as like simple as the anticipation of someone walking upstairs that you can't see. Like that anticipation only lasts for a very small amount of time, and it is that if I just keep hearing stairs and you never show up, eventually I'm just gonna be like, well, who cares? Like I'm just gonna leave. Like so, in the first 5 seconds, I was like, oh shit. Like second 6 to 10, I'm like, all right, here it comes. Second, like 11 to 20, I'm just like, all right, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's when I looked to Lorraine and I was like, "Are you even watching this? Like, do you want to like watch something else?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And we just turned it off. Like, So,
Yeah,
but okay.
I thought the story itself was actually really good. I felt like there were so many things in between that I had to deal with that
Did you make it through the
could have
whole
been
thing, John?
cut. Yeah, yeah, I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I watched
All
the whole
right. Well,
thing.
maybe I gotta try watching it on a plane next time or something.
It definitely has some strong. I think I said this a lot when I first was saying that I watched it. Like it has some really strong like Gotham vibes. Like I would not like if that's without Gotham, man. Yeah, I get it. That is a corrupt, terrible place, and I don't want to be. I felt that the whole movie. I was like, yeah, there's the sun's never gonna come out. This place is terrible.
Yeah. Did you feel
Yeah.
like it was good enough to like say to me like maybe if you get a chance you should like give it another chance and actually watch the whole thing? Because like I did quit early and like someone could argue that maybe I didn't give it enough time. Like,
What do
did
you?
you think it was
Yeah,
that good?
what do you think, Gouda?
No, I don't think for your sensibilities it's something that you would ever enjoy.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Which is why I turned it off. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a hard
I
time
mean,
just
like,
like completely giving up on a movie unless it's like I mean and for you like he said maybe it's just you like you felt like it was just so terrible right off the bat. I just felt like it was slow. Like I felt like it was good but slow. So like unless a movie just if the plot makes absolutely no sense from the beginning and they just keep insisting on the stupidity of the plot that doesn't make sense, that's the only time I'll just be like you can't be serious. And even then I still might watch just to see how stupid it actually is.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I thought it was incredible. If you are at all curious out there, give it a go. Just know that it's not going to be nonstop action at every turn like a Michael Bay film or anything like that.
Watch it.
It's not a Marvel film at all. This is DC. Like
Yeah.
remember that.
Watch it. Watch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
All
but
right. So
I
you
would
get there.
say uh the other movie that I watched was Everything Everywhere All at Once, that won that
Oh
Oscar for the
yeah.
best movie. Trash. That's a
Oh,
movie that
What?
I barely even got through.
I've never even heard of that.
Really? You
Yeah.
I that's
So
one I
sorry
like was on
everyone.
my list. You thought that was trash?
I
That's
think
funny.
you might like it, but I mean
Wow.
like a lot of stuff happens, but it's just so I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Okay,
Um
interesting. Noted.
What is
yeah.
that? I've
You
literally
So
never even heard of it.
with that Asian lady, and then it's like all trippy and stuff.
Oh, like she's a kung fu master or something? Like,
Yeah, it's like I don't even know what it's about, but I remember seeing the trailers. I was like, that looks like it maybe might be good, but I don't even know what it's about. So like, who knows? But okay, well now I know it's trash.
oh, well, yeah, I probably have seen a
I
preview for
shouldn't
that,
say
but
it's trash. It's just it's not for it wasn't made for me, that's for sure. And I
Like,
would be
why isn't it made
surprised
for
if it was
you?
made for you. Because like
who is it made
the
for?
I it's made for women, that's for sure.
Okay.
What? For
Well,
women,
that's
that's
not
like
surprising.
that throws my perspective. Like, okay, why isn't it made for you in particular?
Because like
Because he's
the
not a
dynamics and
woman.
the characters that are the main like tension of the film and the characters and their dynamics of what the whole journey is about is a relationship that none of us could ever understand because we're not women.
Right. So because he's not a woman.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
You
Yeah,
okay?
that's
You
exactly
are right.
it.
I don't get it. I don't
I don't want to
understand.
ruin
'Cause I
it for
haven't
you.
seen the movie.
I want to give you a chance to just like watch it because I think it is one of those films where you're not supposed to know a lot before you get into it. You're supposed to kind of go in and experience it for yourself. So, but yeah, I would just
Interesting.
say it wasn't for me. It
Isn't
was
there like
interesting, but it wasn't for me.
isn't there like a scene where like her hands turn into like something else other than hands?
Yes, that does happen.
I'm just so confused as to how any of this could connect to each other. But all right, interesting. I
Yeah,
will keep that in mind if I ever watch it.
yeah.
So what I guess that kind of just makes me wonder before we get too sidetracked with this. But like why did you like Batman, I guess? What made that film be like, okay, that was for me, like that was good.
Everything made sense. Despite how slow it was, like how you were saying, John, that you felt like this city is just dirty. Like
Yeah.
that everything
Yeah.
that happened, I was like, yeah, that could happen in Milwaukee. I
Yeah.
could see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this is I liked how grounded it was. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the Dark Knight and all that shit is incredible, but that shit would never happen in real life.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
shit.
So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
guess.
is very true. I felt like the villain was much more rooted in reality than a lot of the other Batman
Hmm.
villains.
Yep.
It was much more like because a lot of the appeal of Batman in the past is like Batman is just a rich guy who can fight, but like he's overcoming people with like some type of genetic mutation or some type of power. So you never really see him as like he's really the underdog, even though he's a billionaire a lot of times. But like in this case, it was like part of me almost didn't ever feel bad for him. Like at no point was I like
Yeah.
really rooting for him necessarily because I kind of like the villains themselves felt a lot more grounded in like what real people go through. So like
Hmm.
there was a sense of reality in the villains which also was weirdly like translated into like not making you think Batman was just the hero the whole time.
And he wasn't. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yep.
by the end, he kind of.
Yeah,
Anyways, yeah.
yeah, yep.
I think yeah.
It's
I just
true.
thought it was really. I thought it was really interesting. I don't
Yeah.
need
Batman died in the first five
movies
minutes.
to be
Yeah.
simple.
So anyway, billionaires suck, and Batman was a billionaire, so he sucks, and fuck capitalism. No, no, that's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, Gotham City is basically a story of the perils of capitalism, honestly.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you're
Yeah.
someone who likes to see the machine be taken down, maybe watch some Batman.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's just. I don't know. I think it's just an interesting commentary on the direction society can go depending on who makes the decisions.
That's
So.
yeah, just like in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Shout out Cavalier Johnson.
Yikes.
He's like, I just got this job.
I actually have no idea what the fuck he's doing or if he's like helping the city. I didn't even I couldn't vote for him because I don't technically live in Milwaukee. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
but that's
he
all I'm gonna
actually
say about that.
he's trying. I'll give him that. Like I see him on the news, like he actually like shows up to stuff that I know he probably doesn't want to be at and doesn't have to go to, but he does anyways. And that he's trying. I mean, like the city's in such bad shape. There's not really anything you can do. Like we can't afford like like for our basic services anymore. Like we're like so close to the brink of collapse. Like our only hope is for the state to like bail us out. And like that might be happening. But like if the Republicans get control of the state, yeah, Milwaukee will 100% become Detroit. Like there is nothing stopping it.
We just need to call Ra's al Ghul to come and like raise the city so that we can start from scratch, right?
Yeah, that was his whole plan. Wait, so his plan, yeah, that's right. He was the first Batman from my generation's Batman. Yeah, we're talking about realistic villains. And like he was like this white guy who was trained with some like mysterious like Asian like temple
Yeah,
or
like come
whatever.
on, guys. Like no way. Like
Yeah.
it's just silly. Like that.
And then he comes back all the way to America. And then what was his plan exactly? To kill everyone or to make
His
everyone go
plan
insane?
his plan was to make everyone go insane so that they would tear the city down so that they could rebuild it from zero because apparently their dark order is in charge of making sure that end stage capitalism doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So
the Dark Order. So really, Batman was like stopping the. Yeah, he was stopping like the good guys possibly in that
yeah,
movie.
because he was like, we've done this for centuries. He's
Like,
like, he was like, ancient Rome, that was us. You know,
yeah, that's right. He's like, we've been keeping the world going, and Batman was like, "Fuck you guys! Like, I
yeah.
want chaos." And then he killed him, and wow, yeah. So that's the moral of the story. But I guess
Yeah,
so, dude.
and
I
then a,
loved that
and
Batman.
then
Like I,
a couple movies later, someone almost nuked his city. So he
yeah,
was right. Roz was right all along.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that is pretty like unrealistic. I guess like yeah, that's definitely pretty unrealistic. Like they got one scientist, one nuclear scientist to make a nuclear bomb all by himself, like in a matter of like a couple weeks, like in a basement. Like there's no fucking way. Like there have been countries who've been trying to like figure this out for like decades. And like they're maybe just now figuring it out. Like and like in that movie, it's like, we just kidnapped a nuclear physicist, so then he built us a nuclear bomb. Like that's how it works, right? Like no, like, but
Yeah,
man,
and
yeah,
that's something that you can do when your city is like on the brink of collapse. Like that's when you build a nuke, right?
yeah, right. And like all these villains, like they think they can just like take out the city, but like what about when the state or federal government like steps in? Like,
They
what?
don't exist because it's not reality.
What I
Yeah,
never understood is like about like especially like regular cities like in real life, but also Gotham City when they do this in movies. When they always say that the city's so bad, no everyone like finds ways to like fuck the city up or build like really complex things to like blow things up, but no one ever builds anything to leave. Like why are you all staying there? I don't I don't understand like how is it so bad in Gotham City that people are like dying on the streets, so people are so fed up that instead of leaving, they're just gonna tear the whole thing down and stay in the rubble. Like, how
Yeah.
does that? How does that make any sense? Like, Gotham City cannot be the only place you know of
yeah, that is
in the
true.
whole
Like
world.
the amount of terrorist attacks that have hit Gotham
I'm
City,
pretty
why does
sure.
anyone live there?
I don't get it. I don't see how many people are. I would
Well,
if it's between being homeless in Gotham City and just being homeless in like the desert, I'll take my chances. Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference?
I don't think another place exists. Name me one other city in the world of Batman.
I don't know many, but I know that if Superman can exist inside of the DC world and fly to Batman, there must be somewhere else. If
Yeah.
Batman
Oh
can
yeah,
go get
Metropolis.
yeah, if Batman can
Oh
go get
yeah.
fucking Aquaman and Wonder Woman, live somewhere, right? Like, why are these people
Hmm.
not fleeing?
I looked
Oh
it up.
yeah,
Apparently,
there's Kansas,
Bloodhaven.
because Superman's from Kansas, right? So
Yeah,
it's
and
like the
Superman's
U.S.
actually from real places. Like Superman actually flies over actual places in his own world. So like the superheroes
Yeah.
just watching these people, and they're just like, "Wow, it's really bad out there." All right, I'm gonna go head back to Metropolis.
No, I don't
Gotham
know.
must be like its own country or something.
Yeah, it's so weird. I just never got that about. And in the real life, people do the same thing. They're just like, "God, this place fucking sucks." And like, you have your phone with the fucking internet, and like, you're driving around in your car, and like, it might be hard to like get a job and shit. I understand that, but God, if it's so bad that
Yeah.
you're like afraid to go home, I'd rather be fucking homeless somewhere else.
And there are people who will immediately argue that like, oh, well, like these people just don't have the means to leave. But like, let me remind you that like there are people still living in like Bakhmut, like in Ukraine right now, which is like
Yeah,
the war center of the Ukraine versus Russia war. Like and it's been over a year. Like you can literally just walk away. Like if you're there right now, your chances of like just like some like soldier finding you and just deciding to execute you right there are so astronomically high that like you would be your chances of just walking away with nothing in your hands in
I
like
don't I don't want to
right
like
now.
accidentally spread war propaganda, but didn't they like even have like a civilian like escape corridor at the beginning? They were
Yes.
like, "All right, guys, if you don't want to get like shelled or killed as a civilian, you can just leave." But I think
Yeah.
the corridors like went straight to Russia, so that's probably why it was like not very
No,
well received.
well, that's
God.
true. But now they do have corridors. Like, if you're on like a border city, like you have a way to escape. Like, there are people who will risk their life to come save you if you really wanted to get out. But like a lot of people will just be like, no, I'm fine. And like they're just like walking to the grocery store. I'm like, what grocery store? How the fuck is there a grocery store And like you're
People
just
are
walking and
still
like
living their
there's
lives, I
just
guess.
mortar shells like blowing off like
Yeah,
2 feet
people are
in
going
front
to
of
work.
you.
They're working, or is it just all free? Like, is it looting or what?
I think they're working like
No, they're just
somehow.
still
Holy shit!
propping. Yeah, they're still propping up the real like the world, the society, by
Yeah.
just continuing to
Yeah.
do the things they were doing as if there is no war.
And then
That's
like
beautiful.
when
Good for you guys.
the reporters come interview them, there's like, why are you still here and why haven't you left? And there's like, well, it's mostly old people for one, mostly, and two, they're just like, well, like I just don't feel like it, like, and if someone ever comes like and takes over my house, then I'll die with my house. Then it's like,
It's
god
like,
damn, like,
yeah, there's like, I'm comfortable. Fuck it.
yeah. So like I feel like your sense of home, like for some people, is like literally almost like tied into
If
like who you are and like your worth, like your entire like life's worth essentially at a certain point.
if you're over like 50, 55, then okay. I'll buy that argument. But if you're anywhere under 50, you can't tell me about your sense of home when you still have half your life realistically to live. Shut up. No, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear about your sense of fucking home. You haven't lived long enough to tell me about sense of home unless you've crossed the halfway line. I don't want to hear about it other than that. No, fuck that.
That is
Like, get the
true.
fuck out so you can live the other 40 however many years. Please.
That is true.
I just
You know
want
what's
you
actually
I just want
weird?
you to live, that's all.
There are, I mean, I guess like for the most part, it's mostly just like old people and maybe like yeah, they all look in their like 40s and older. Like all the people I've ever seen in like those like border towns that
Well
are like
that's good
literally
because then that
in
means those
the
people
path.
like the younger people did value their lives and maybe they got out.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So
That's good
that
for
is
them.
good, yeah. So what about people in like Gotham or like the shittiest cities like
They're just
St. Louis?
they're the most horribly written citizens in all of storytelling. It makes absolutely no sense because honestly, they're almost like a plot device because they have to be there for there to be any problems at all. That's the crazy part of it. Like you don't have any Batman unless these citizens are just willingly staying there in shit.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's cities like basically like that in real life that people stay in,
Yeah, and I
that
don't
people
understand
get
why they're
murdered
still
and all
there. I
that.
don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either,
How the
honestly.
fuck can you
Like I
drive to
would do
work but you can't
anything to
drive
not
like
live
20
there.
more miles to get the fuck out?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, honestly.
Because
I
if you
guess we
don't
need
leave, how are you
to.
going to complain about it being terrible?
That is true.
I understand, like you said, sense of home, community. You've lived there 40 years. It wasn't like that before. This is your people. All right, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna argue with you then. But nah, you're 20 and you're just like, yeah, I guess I'll just go work at Foot Locker and fuck it. If I get hit by a bullet, I'm hit by a bullet. Like, no, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that doesn't even make sense. Like you
Yeah,
get paid minimum wage and you're gonna risk your life every day to go do
yeah,
that.
I
Like
would never.
it
Yeah.
seems like so stupid.
Anyway, I don't say this to get on
Uh,
people's case if you're like in one of those areas. I say this to say your life is more important than what's going on there. So please, if you have any way, get out if you can. If you really feel like your life's in danger. If you don't, then hey, I mean, roll with it, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, spoken from the man that made the 32 today, so he knows
Yeah,
what he's
see, I
talking about.
no, I don't.
Yeah,
No, man,
32 years of
don't take
wisdom.
advice from me. I'm not at my halfway point yet. I don't have a sense of home.
Yeah,
No,
he
I'm
is not a
serious. Like
financial
the
advisor.
people, the people that are in cities like that for real, like it's a miracle if they make it to 30 almost. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got the
No,
fuck out of there.
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
I
how
could
do you
never.
just live there? I don't even know,
I
man.
don't know.
I have no idea.
I
Like,
don't know.
I don't get it. Yeah, we're all just like, we don't know. Like, all right, so
Yeah.
lists, I'll add that to the
I
top of
can't
our
wait to
guest
hear
list.
how privileged and out of touch with reality I am. If anyone ever
Yeah,
actually gets to listen to this.
yeah, yeah, I'll add the top of our guest list, someone who lives in the hood.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, urban crisis tonight on News at 8. A local man's answer? Just leave.
just fucking leave. Yeah, 100%.
Just leave.
Hey, man.
And that's how you get Detroit. Like
Yep.
you have abandoned
Yeah.
neighborhoods. Like you got mansions that
At
are
least,
abandoned. Actually, that's already happening. I've been seeing on Zillow that like people have been selling their mansions like all the way like kind of over by Yuguda, like in that area. Like people have been selling their houses like crazy, and like no one's touching them. Like because they're like it's like $6 million houses, but like, dude, you're like a block away from like the worst hood ever. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
and
pay
Well,
and
$6 million
like
to be in
when the
danger every day.
protests happened, they saw that, oh well, shit goes down. Like they're not afraid to like come over here and like
Oh
fuck
yeah,
shit
yep,
up.
yeah, yep. That's crazy. So yeah, Milwaukee, the new Detroit.
I hear Detroit's actually getting better. Like they're rebuilding some of those like completely abandoned areas. So it's not just like destitute anymore. It's not just like craziness. But like there's still obviously like every place, there's still bad parts of town obviously, but
Oh, Ra's al Ghul was right.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
bro,
just
I got two duplexes and a bungalow over there. Didn't you know?
yeah, see.
For like $5
ten
on
dollars,
foreclosure.
bro.
Yeah,
It's 10 now
That's
because of inflation.
hilarious.
yeah, man. I'm hurting.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Uh,
All right. Back to Kenya adventures. We'll get through this. We
Oh,
will
okay.
get there. But this is just too interesting sometimes to talk about this stuff. Okay, so you land. You get everything is great. Shout out to
Mhm.
the airport or airline or whatever. They did a good job. And then your
Yeah.
dad knows like the general of the Kenyan army himself.
No, this happened like way later. But that did happen during the trip. So I was there for
This
like
just in. No, just kidding.
I was there for basically a month, basically like all of March. Um, so yeah, that's like a lot of stuff to like get through and talk about, and I don't want to like literally tell you like day by day. So
True.
you're gonna have to give me like
Okay.
a little bit of guidance. But yeah, okay.
Fast forward to the first
So we land.
interesting thing that happened.
So the first interesting thing that happened was when we landed and got to the airport, and like so the second that you land in Nairobi at Jomo Kenyatta, there's like a bunch of people that work there, except they don't really have like a designated job per se. Their job is to like I want to say harass you, but they do that. They like come up to you, see like what kind of luggage that you have, and like if you have like bags filled with electronics and like expensive stuff, then they like tax you on it. So there's like
Wow.
a bunch of guys like looking around to see if anyone has like bags filled with like good shit, because what they want to do is say like, oh, so do you have like electronics and stuff in there? Because if you do and we find it, then like you're gonna get taxed when you get through immigration, because when the bags come off of the airplane, they go through a scanner, right? And the guys that are on the tarmac, they put like an X on certain bags that have like good shit in it, because everyone's like all in on it together. So they like mark the
Wow.
bags that have good shit. So then the guys on the inside of the baggage claim are looking for people that have bags with X's on it, so that they can walk up to them and be like, oh, so you have like some expensive shit in there, like you can get taxed, or I could like help you out. So like basically you're supposed to like bribe all these people, and like so that they can like erase the X off your luggage, and then like they'll like walk you through themselves so that you don't have to like pay the tax and all that stuff. So yeah, there's like already a racket going on in there the second that
God
you land.
damn.
And then so
But did
so
your
we get through
dad
all
like
that.
warn you about this like before like
No, no one
landing?
warned us. No one warned us about anything.
in
I
first
think
Did
it's
your
world
just
dad
kind of
countries,
know about it already?
I think it's just kind of understood that that's like something that happens.
don't they do that
And
in first
was
world
your dad's
countries? Isn't that just
reaction
called
like was
taxes
your mom and dad's
normally?
reaction
Yeah,
like normal?
yeah. They weren't phased at all.
Okay. So that
But
they normally go through that or
yeah,
something.
they got my brother though. Like he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna pay this guy. So
Oh my god. But they let you through?
I didn't have anything like serious. So
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any X's on my shit. Um, like I didn't bring a laptop or anything. The only things I had were two phones. So
Okay.
and everybody there has a phone. Like I don't know if you're listening to this and you think Kenya is like I don't know, everyone's living in a dirt hut or something like that. It's not like that. Everyone has is like a smartphone and like all that. So
Okay.
yeah, what I had seemed to be like pretty standard affair, but my brother had brought things for other people in our family like iPads and other shit like that. So that's the stuff that they're really like looking for. So
Wow. So how much did he have to pay to get past them?
I have no idea actually.
Interesting.
It wasn't a lot, I guess, because he just did it. He did like nothing. But
Okay.
right now, the way things are with their economy compared to ours, like yeah, if you go over there with like any kind of like just like even like a few $100s, like you'll be balling over there.
Wow.
And yeah, so there was
Okay.
like definitely like there was a lot of times where I would see the price for something and I'd be like, "Oh, that's like not bad at all." And then my cousins would be like, "What do you mean? That's not bad at all. Like that's like expensive." So yeah. Um
Wow. Okay.
yeah, shout out to the family and my cousins and I know at least one of you is listening right now, so shout out to you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for being ignorant. Excuse my American ignorance.
Yeah. So yeah, we go through that at the airport. We land there at like 11 p.m. So um and the airport is basically the same like layout in the city the way that it is here in Milwaukee. So the airport's like 20 to 30 minutes outside of like prime downtown. And where we were staying for the first week was like at an Airbnb in downtown. So we landed, took like about 45 minutes to get through all that shit. So it was like midnight by the time we actually get out of the airport. And then we have to like flag someone down to give us a ride from the airport to our Airbnb downtown, which was like another 30 minutes. And when we got outside, it was like a whole nother like situation where there's millions of dudes like trying to rob you basically. So like
God
everyone
damn.
like the second that they see that you have bags and you're like walking out of the airport, you get swarmed by like 20 or 30 guys like all trying to like be the one to like claim you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah,
To
it's
claim
kind
you
of
like,
wild.
nope, I'm with them. God damn. So they
Yeah.
need like stuff to do, like real jobs, like honestly.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure. Yep. That's a problem over there.
interesting. I mean, I've been hearing a lot more companies like moving like manufacturing over to Kenya, which would make sense. Like if you're saying like it's like low wages or like low cost of living and like there's a bunch of people just basically if you're spending your time doing that, I guarantee you like a real job like is gonna pay like better, especially if it's like coming in from like America or something. So that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
remember
are
actually
they're open
people
for
were
business.
people were going up in arms that ChatGPT, OpenAI, that company, they were hiring Kenyans for only, it was like dirt cheap. It was like $3 an hour or something like
Yeah,
that.
those are my people that helped build that shit. You're welcome,
Yeah,
world.
like everyone was like, "Wow, they're paying people $3 an hour." It's like, or, I don't know if that's the amount. It was like it was less than like minimum wage in America though, and like it sounds to Americans like you're like taking advantage of these people, or like it's really bad. But like apparently in Kenya, it was like twice as much as like the average wage over there or something like that. So it's like
Mhm.
pretty good. It was like pretty good pay. So it's like I don't know what to think of it really. Like, is it? It's good. Like they're bringing good jobs over. Like I don't think we should be mad about that. But okay, that makes sense. Like that definitely puts that into context for me too.
Yeah, the only I would say, and like also myself, like I would say take this with a grain of salt because I'm not like a citizen that's living there all the time. I'm only tangentially related through my family and when I visit. But like it seems to me, my impression was that if you are to make a lot of money, there's no way you can do that unless someone is getting a piece somewhere. So you don't just like become rich on your own without bribing someone somewhere along the way. So
Uh, Interesting. I
yeah.
mean, that sucks, but okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I
there's
mean,
yeah, I don't know. There's yeah, it could be yeah, I don't know. It's a good country. I will say that.
that's. I mean, it sounds good. It seems like everyone I've ever talked to or seen who's from Kenya talk about Kenya, they only say good things. Like
Yeah, and
So
that's
that's
another thing. Like everyone there fucking loves Kenya. Like they are about that shit. Like the same way America was right after 9/11, that's them all the time. Like and
wow.
nothing terrible had to happen for them to be like that. Everyone just loves being Kenyan. It's actually it's quite beautiful.
That's actually
And
pretty good.
another thing I will say is that it was, I think, 2 weeks before I saw a white person, which
Wow.
was like pretty crazy. So so yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So no one once ever looked at you like you were different? Or actually I'm sure they did because did you look American or did you like somehow like have a way of blending in? I'm sure you looked American, I'm guessing.
I guess I look American, but also there's, yeah. Sorry to speak ill of Kenya, but there's also like a problem with colorism over there. So
Oh, I didn't
depending
know
on
that.
like how dark or light you are, you get treated like kind of differently. So I wouldn't say
Interesting.
like treated differently, but people assume that your life is better or worse depending on how dark or light that you are.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, it's kind of like in America, like basically the same thing going on.
yeah,
So where
kind
do
of.
you sit on the scale of darkness like over there? Like are you like lighter or darker over there?
Over there, apparently I'm like noticeably lighter. Like that's what everyone said that to me.
So it's
Like
like, "Oh, the prince is here."
yeah, essentially that's, yeah, it's so stupid, man. Like
That's hilarious. Yeah, in America, you would definitely not be considered like lighter skinned, I'm pretty sure. Like,
no, I'm like black.
I mean,
But
that's
over
me. Like,
there, yeah, over there, like people would call me brown, and then dark people are called black.
wow, interesting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it
Like,
is
how did
interesting.
they manage to get their own racism? Like,
Cause
dang
that's
it,
what
man. Like,
humans do, man.
yeah, I guess that's just in human nature to just be a little bit racist. Like, we always have to oppress one group of people some way, somehow, and race is the easiest first way to do that.
Well, humans want success, and if you have success, we're taught that there has to be a loser. So the only way there
Yeah.
can be a loser is if you separate yourselves.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, maybe if we make enough robot slaves, then we can all use them to oppress, and then we'll be the winners.
Yeah, man. I can't believe that's actually our timeline. Like that is actually gonna happen in our future. That's just,
Yeah, like that's real life. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So, like, is iRobot like? Are we the bad guys in iRobot? I don't even know. Like, should we have put down the slave rebellion, or should we have given them rights? I have no idea. Because like the whole movie, Will Smith is just chasing down this one sentient robot who just doesn't want to be a slave anymore. But it doesn't matter because what happens at the end? What does happen at the
I
end?
don't remember, honestly.
I don't remember either.
No, the new robots got put in the containers that the old robots originally got put in.
Wait,
What?
what?
Didn't the
Containers?
Yeah, so like they were like storing, like that was part of the story, that they were basically just decommissioning all the old robots. Like they were just taking over in iRobot. Like they were all kept under that bridge. You don't remember any of that?
Oh,
Mhm. I
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah, so the bridge that he kept sketching, that's where all the old robots kept being stored and kept. So all the new ones were basically just taking over so that they were all one sentient, like they were all connected to like the mothership or whatever the fuck it was.
That's right.
Yeah, so
The
basically, yeah,
override.
in the like at the end, that's one of the things that happened. They released all the old ones because most of them like went out and fought for the humans, and then all the
So
ones that could think for themselves got put away.
wait, wait, they got put away.
Yeah.
Wait, the ones that could think for themselves
Yeah.
got.
No, well, the ones that were connected to the mothership, the ones that were connected to a mind that was thinking on its own, they got put in the box.
Oh, they got put in the box.
Yeah.
But then the
The mother,
one,
the like the the thing that was controlling them, I guess, got shut down. I think that's how they ended it. Like he went to whatever the core was and killed it.
wait, so did the majority of the robots gain citizen rights or no?
No, they just traded off which ones were the slaves and which ones weren't.
Dang. All right. Well, that's what our future's gonna be like. Now we know. So yeah, there'll always be something that gets oppressed. But hey, at least we're making
They,
our own new
you know,
slaves.
you know what actually happened in that movie? They let the ones that had the least ability to be able to actually overthrow them have more rights. The less afraid of you they were, the more you got. The stronger you
Interesting.
became, the worse you were.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like we don't want to be threatened as humans, which is why
Right.
we keep like little cats and dogs around, but we don't keep like lions and bears around.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
could die. Like, what the fuck?
Well, so
That's
yeah, I
just a
guess you always
self-preservation method.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to
have that
be eaten,
good old
so
competition.
fuck that.
Oh, dude, speaking of cats and dogs, there's like so people have pets, but there really aren't any pets. Like it was like Pokemon, the amount of wild cats and dogs that are just like around, and they kind of just live everywhere. So
Interesting.
whoever is feeding them that week, like that's your cat. And then if you stop and then like it goes somewhere else, then that's their cat now. It's like yeah, it was really yeah.
What?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was
like
fun. I thought it was cool because my cousin was
okay.
telling me because I said that yeah, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna adopt a cat, I'm gonna go to Kenya and just find one in the wild and then bring it back to America. And he's like, yeah, that's how pretty much everyone gets a cat here. You just find one outside and then like you start feeding it for a little while and then that's your cat.
You just gain a cat. The cats truly do choose you. That's nice.
Yeah, and they don't like at least up country they don't like fix them or anything like that. So all of a sudden your cat might just be pregnant and then you tell people and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll come get one of the kittens then." And
Wow.
the cycle just
And then they just
continues.
sit them outside and be like, okay, you're my kitten for now, but feel free to go wherever you want.
Yeah. It was weird. Like all the cats looked healthy, but the dogs, like some of them like definitely were struggling. I don't know how that was, but somehow the cats like knew
Interesting.
how to deal with that type of scenario a lot better.
Interesting. That is actually very interesting. Yeah, they're a little bit smarter. I guess like they're definitely like even my cats who are very well fed often successfully find mice. Like when the view, like I literally let them outside like 20 minutes to a half hour each day. It would be like pretty common for them to be able to find a mouse and actually catch it. And they're completely well fed. So like I would imagine if anything did happen, they could easily like find some food for themselves since they're such good hunters. But dogs, I guess, are probably more dependent on every meal being from a human. So if they fuck up and get lost or don't find the right humans to hang around, then maybe that's what's going on.
I
Yeah,
imagine it's a harder body to keep fueled.
That
yeah.
Like you
too,
need
and
to
they're
find like an
bigger.
actual meal.
Well,
Yeah,
also that like I feel like dogs a lot of times when if they get along, I feel like they have a better chance to get along with each other than like cats do. Like I don't see many cats just like hang out together, but like
True.
like dogs, especially in the South, like some of them can have like full-on hierarchies. So like if you're at the bottom of the hierarchy, you probably don't eat that much because you
yeah. Did you
basically
see
get
any cats hanging out together?
No.
yeah. See, like
They
I
were
don't
all
think that
just like a
happens that much.
one-off cat.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I
Yeah, they were
gotta
always
imagine.
alone, but they were always different. Like their patterns and like coats, like it was obvious that they were individual cats.
Yeah, see, like that
Interesting.
makes more sense. Where I feel like dogs probably have a harder time with that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
probably.
Because like one of our rescue dogs was found like very, very malnourished, but then the other one was found so fat that they thought it was pregnant. And like she was just living on the street and like she was eating good.
Like
So
how? Like what
because
would she eat? She's
we
like, man,
we
I'm
think
fine.
yeah, we think that she was part of like an actual crew, like that she had like other dogs with her. So like she was probably one of the dogs that ate first.
Is she still a top dog in your house?
No.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
She definitely like tries to treat other dogs like she's the top dog, and she guards food a lot. So like if she's sitting next to me and there's food around, like if one of the other dogs comes up, she immediately is like in their face and like snarling and growling at them. So like I feel like that's
Wow.
just so normal for her that that's exactly how she ate like when she was out in the wild.
Hmm.
So she, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah, so
she's
if you don't have
basically
that
still one of the
dog
top
in
dogs.
you, then you don't eat.
God damn. That's
Nature.
crazy.
Yeah, nature.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like Cookie's definitely the top cat in our house, but like if Cicely comes up to her treats, like and like starts eating her treats, she'll just let her. She'll just like, oh, okay, I'll let it happen, and just like walk away and be like, I just won't eat treats today. Like it's just so weird because like any other time, like she will just slap the shit out of Cicely for anything, but like what I see as like just like completely unacceptable. Like somehow she's like, that's okay. It's very weird. I don't understand cat social
Yeah, interesting.
hierarchies or anything. Crazy.
Maybe she
Well,
wants a different treat.
that could be. She's like, I didn't even like this anyways. That could be. She's like, I'm not in love with it. Like,
Yeah,
I'll let her have her fun.
maybe that's too lowbrow. Now that she like sees that Sicily gets it, she's like, no, I need something better than
Yeah. She always does come to me for anything that I'm eating. She's like, yeah, let me try that.
that.
But Cicely's just like, no, I'm fine with the treats. That's
Yeah, she
funny.
sees you eating, and she's like, yeah, that's for me. Like I'm
She's
on
like,
his status. I'm on his level.
yeah,
I was
probably
the
actually.
original. I should get that food.
It's like we are the same. I am a
Yeah,
human.
yeah, 100%.
That's hilarious. So okay, what else happened? Anything else? Like how long have we been going actually? We could probably almost save this for a whole nother episode. I haven't even checked the sound quality. This could sound like complete garbage. I would have no idea.
And Garbo.
Garbo, that would suck. All right, it looks like we have been live for an hour.
Yeah, but I took an impromptu and unofficial poll, and I heard this is just hearsay. I heard that episodes the length of 90 minutes would be preferred for our listeners.
Oh,
That's just what
hour
I've
and
heard.
a half?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So maybe we got time for a little more Kenyan shenanigans.
Yeah, maybe. But we really haven't like talked about anything. Like I'm
I
still
know, like we've not, you literally like, yeah, we haven't even gotten to your destination yet. Your destiny.
Yeah, that's true. Like so we have so all right. Where was I at? Just leaving the airport, right?
Right. So like you got, I'm assuming you got past the 30 guys who wanted to claim you, or did you get claimed?
Uh no, yeah, we got past it.
Okay. So yeah,
If
where'd
he
you
if
go?
he
Like
got
how'd you get
claimed,
past
there
it
would be
to
no
where?
story.
Wait, what was that?
I said
So you got
if you got claimed, there would be no story.
Yeah, there'd be nothing. I'd still be over there. No, I don't think they'd do that.
No, I'm assuming they just like, yeah, they just like hang out with you and make you pay them for like unnecessary things for as long as they can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll just
Yeah.
bleed you dry throughout the whole. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's like.
They're just like, oh, you need to go here. I can help you with that for money.
Yep. It's like, yeah, you can pay for the fast pass around the taxing if you want. Is essentially how the airport works. And depending on how many people that you know or how much that you're willing to pay, you can either walk straight to the front of the line like as if you're in a wheelchair or something, or you can pay to get that fast pass and like kind of skip a couple of people. So it's all literally anything that you could want to happen in Kenya, you can make it happen if you if you have the funds for it.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's the same here though.
I was gonna
So
say it sounds like America.
yeah, but like I don't know. Over there, everyone is way more willing to play the game with you. Like I feel
There's
like
more availability.
yeah, here people still want to pretend like they're better than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Interesting. So okay, you got past the guys, and but how? Like, where you got into a car? I'm guessing, like, or Were you
Yeah,
just
I
able to
mean,
like?
my brother called an Uber, so
Oh,
the Uber
okay.
came. Yeah, they have Uber over there,
He was
so
like,
the
no, thank
guy,
you. I'll just get an Uber.
yeah. But while you're sitting there waiting for it, they try and like tell you all these things about like, oh, the Ubers aren't that great. Like, look at this truck that I have. Like, it can fit this many people, and I can go this fast and this and that. So yeah, they're really trying to sell you on going with them. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
we get in the Uber, and then it's like a 30-minute drive down to the downtown section that we were staying in for like a week. Um, it was like an Airbnb in like high tower apartments, so just very
It,
standard stuff.
in Nairobi, or
Yeah,
where?
in Nairobi. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know you stayed
Um,
in a downtown high-rise apartment Airbnb, basically.
yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool.
I guess apparently it was like like obviously I can't really tell the difference between all this stuff, but I guess it was a very fancy part of town. Like it was like we had security guards, there was a gate and everything, and like all this jazz. But
Wow.
yeah, it was like a very just like a very nice basic apartment with uh 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a patio. Uh, yeah, it was just yeah, normal
Wow.
normal stuff. A kitchen, laundry, all that good stuff. So yeah, so we were there for like a week because we went there because unfortunately someone in our family passed away. So the the burial was like that following weekend after we landed. So we
In
just had
Nairobi?
yeah, close to Nairobi. There's like a
Okay.
there's like a smaller town called Machakos. It's basically like a twin city. It's like as if you were going to Brookfield from Milwaukee or
Okay.
or Greenfield, something like that.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
so it was over there, so we just like stayed in Nairobi and plus it's way easier to just like go downtown after like the whole flight and everything. Like it's not like we're trying to like drive another 3 hours up country after landing. Like that would be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
that's true. God.
so yeah, so we hung out like downtown for a week, and that was cool. Like all the people came and like greeted us, and everyone was surprised to see me because I hadn't been there like in a while, and my family like purposely didn't tell them that I was coming. So
Oh,
when they saw
really?
me there, they were like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask me. What do you want to know about the first week? Cause like for me, it was like kind of all a whirlwind. So
Did you see like any people with guns? Like, did you see guns in any way, shape, or form?
yeah, there were soldiers around that had they were carrying. It looked like an AK, I think.
Interesting. Okay. Like,
Yeah,
were they like they're? I'm assuming they're like in clear uniform. Like,
yeah, they were in uniform. Yep.
okay, that's pretty cool. Interesting. So, did the security guards like at your apartment have guns?
No, but like sometimes like some soldiers would like come and hang around with them. So I'm sure they were
Okay.
all like part of like the same. I don't know. I feel like security and like army are pretty closely linked over there in terms of like job sector. So yeah.
Same for here. It makes sense. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes complete sense actually, and it would probably be tighter knit because the country's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
Well, that makes sense.
yeah, I definitely
Interesting.
saw a gun like right away. Like it was not very long before I saw one.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, because like in America, like you usually don't see like guns. Like maybe you might see an officer with like a pistol or something like holstered, but like yeah, you usually never see someone just like standing around with like an assault rifle. Like not unless there's like been a problem or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when was the last time I actually saw a gun. Here, I mean. And it would have had to have been like an officer that was on foot.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the last time that was.
Yeah, I saw a gun recently, but it was an officer.
I saw my own gun. I was like, hey, look at that.
Well, there you go. But yeah, those were the only people that had anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to own a gun over there. Like gun-related crime is it's quite rare, I think.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's probably smart.
Hmm.
We have a problem over here.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well then you went to the funeral. Like, is the funeral like an American funeral or like what's that like?
Mm, yeah, I would say it's like very close. Very, very similar. You
Okay.
know, like I don't know, like a ceremony where they do all the things and talk about all this stuff and everyone gets their chance to mourn and do stuff and things and there's a whole bunch of people and there's food afterwards and
So
yeah,
I'm guessing most people were speaking like Swahili around you.
correct.
So did you have like Google Translate open like a lot?
No, but I did actually try it. Like, um, this is like the second week once we like got to our house up country. I realized that I had the Translate app. And I wanted to see like how good it was, so I tried it out with my cousins to like do the live like talking and see if it could translate, and it got it right, but only if you were speaking like textbook perfect Swahili. If you like tried to speak any like casual street stuff, it wouldn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's still getting
Hmm.
there.
But yeah, that's totally gonna happen too, where you can just have like a live translator in your ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's getting so close. Like that does technically exist. They're just really expensive. But yeah, probably languages like Swahili, they need a little bit more time to work on it. But like English is getting pretty good. Like when I talk into my phone, like it'll even like if I talk in slang in some like versions, if it's used enough, like it'll write in the slang version. It's like, oh, like this is what you mean. It's like, wow, that's actually pretty good. So yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, what else? What else? So like I guess that's probably all the questions I would have for the first week. So what about like how did you yeah, so
Yeah,
where did you
dude,
go after downtown?
I was a pallbearer, so that was wild.
You had to
Uh,
carry the casket?
yeah, man.
Wow. Were you afraid of like tripping or dropping or like suddenly collapsing?
No, not really. I mean, it was kind of hard to. I mean, you've been to a funeral. It's kind of hard to think about yourself in those type of situations. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
no, I wasn't really thinking about that.
Okay, that's good. Like, oh God, what if I trip? And then the whole casket just falls, and then the body falls out like that. That'd be like a worst
Well,
case scenario.
it was like 10 or 12 guys, so that definitely wasn't gonna happen.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, that was a first for me. So
Wow.
uh, not necessarily something I want to like check off in my life experience list, but
Right? So, yeah,
there
I
you
guess.
go.
But it's definitely a not. Well, I guess maybe for some people they go through that a lot, but I guess for most people I know, I've never done something like that. I guess we're young still, so.
Yeah, yeah. Keep saying that. We're young. Hell yeah.
Yeah, when if you die before me, I'll carry one of your caskets. I'll
God
do it.
damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
What a thing to even say and think about.
actually, unless like you're so old, like if you're gonna trip, I don't want my body like thrown out in front of like all my kids and grandkids. So, so if you're
Yeah,
too old and like out of
like
shape, you just
I'm
sit your ass
89. It's like,
down.
oh god.
You won't have to worry
Like he
about that.
told me.
You don't have to worry about that for me. I'm not getting buried.
Yeah, actually that's true. Me too. I'm not getting buried either. No one's carrying my
Same.
body anywhere. Like if I die, like have the city come and clean me up and then that's it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say like I have it checked off already because actually we just did like wills and shit, and it just says in there like donate me to science.
You're gonna get donated to science, so I'm gonna go to like a natural like body museum and be like, oh shit, there's
If
John.
if that's what they use me for, then yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
I'm
maybe.
like, so that's what his dick looks like.
Yeah, man, you could see it in
It's gonna
all.
be like cut in half so I can see
Yeah,
like the
you could see
insides
it
of it.
in all of its chubby glory.
Oh god.
I feel that's not gonna do it justice all dead
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
Desiccated? Nah,
They're
you
gonna
don't
have
want
to.
that.
They're
That's
gonna have to
bad luck.
prop it up.
Have you
Yeah.
guys ever been to one of those like human body things?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
How
The
did you
cadaver
like it?
lab?
It was
It made
interesting.
me nauseous. Like I was holding back vomit nearly the entire time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like unwell.
It was interesting, I thought.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Interesting. All right. Well, I guess I'll probably like in reality, I'll probably never go to one of those again. I really, really, really hope Brain is not into that because that would suck.
I mean,
uh,
they have pretty comprehensive and very well done YouTube videos about stuff like that. If you're ever curious, just like
yeah.
real anatomy lessons, just right there for free. Colleges are
Oh.
so fucked.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Don't
you can just
don't
look
worry.
up Harvard classes on college, like
Don't worry.
online. Like,
I'll pay them.
Yeah.
yeah, don't worry, I'll try it out one last time.
Don't
Hey,
worry.
man, someone's gotta
Someone's got to
test it
prop
out. At
them
least
up.
you're going online. Yeah, do you get a discount for going online rather than in person?
No.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
I mean, like technically the price is different than if I would like stay on campus, but like the difference is like $1,500. It's negligible for considering like what the actual price of a semester is.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
just to someone
interesting.
who is young, that's a lot. That's gonna be a lot of money. But
Wait,
in my
so
mind, it's like
why don't you go to like some cheap online college then?
Um, because I can't really tell the difference. I'll be completely honest with you. I really can't tell the difference between a cheap, reputable online college and a cheap, absolute shit college. So I have a very significant fear of like paying for something like that, even if it's only 200, like really cheap. Like I don't give a fuck. I have a serious fear of paying for something like that and then seeing that college on the news saying like
Like,
they're
oh, this
calling
is a scam.
yeah, like, can you
Yep.
imagine? Like all that time just wasted. So I'd honestly rather pay a like a state institution knowing that like someone is propping it up. Because like even if it's
Okay.
fraudulent, the government would never just like throw an entire state institution to the wayside. At least the state government won't. Like they won't undermine themselves that much. So even if it's fraudulent, someone will say that it's worth something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Okay. So you're paying for the credibility.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because there's a college around here that just announced they were closing, and Valera, you're telling me you know people who graduated from there. I'm like, damn. So
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
right?
Like, can you imagine? Like,
And
your
it
yo,
just
education is
closed.
just
It was like,
bullshit.
yeah.
your degree is like worthless. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Like,
hope
hey,
your
is it
career is like
worthless?
doing
And
I'm
well.
you
assuming it is.
and you know what? I can also tell kind of like the quality of the college by like how long it takes them to get back to you on things. Cause like I had to request all my transcripts for this new place, and I've gone to three different colleges. Two of them were Wisconsin state institutions, right? And the other one was Bryan and Stratton. So the two state institutions literally with less than 24 hours they had already mailed like already electronically sent my all of my shit. It took Brian and Stratton 3 days before they even like looked at the request. So
Oh
like
my god.
if you're thinking about it, 3 days is not a crazy amount of time. Like but in our world, it really is. Like let's be honest.
That's a
In the
lot.
world of
Yeah.
like technology, that's an eternity. So like, and
Yeah.
that completely spells out the exact level of quality between those institutions. Like you pay for what you get, what you pay for, basically.
That
The
is
person
exactly true.
the person that works there on those things literally wasn't working for 3 days.
Yeah, like they were just gone.
Like they were off and then
Yeah,
they came
Yeah,
back and it's like,
it's
oh, look at
literally a
that.
part-time mailbox.
yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Like, you're literally sending your your requests for official documentation to a mailbox that someone only checks every fourth day.
Oh, that's so fucked.
That's fucked.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that reminds me of the story of uh like this like unknown like jet flying over like this whole entire country of Switzerland like on like a Sunday like evening or something, and no one responded in the country at all because like no one was working. I was like, so like you're telling me if like your country got invaded on Sunday evening, no one would respond until Monday? Like,
Golly.
like that's insane. Like, just no one on the entire Swiss Air Force is working Sunday nights.
That's
Like,
just because it's so
mm,
lax there. Like, why would you want to blow up such a safe haven?
Yeah, it was like they don't even care.
Like, so they're like, no one's coming for us. It's fine.
They're just like Brighton Stratton. It's like whatever. Like
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, why would anyone request a transcript from here?
they're like they can wait a
Wait,
couple days.
wait,
They're like,
you want people to know you went here?
yeah, they're like,
Okay.
yeah, they're like, you told them that you went here? Are you sure? Like, yeah, man, they said all of them, so I put you on there.
Told them.
Yeah. Like, man, I would have lied. Fuck it.
Oh, shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah, did I tell you I saw the guy the guy that you guys harassed in high school in fucking I don't want to say harassed, like I'm saying that sounds
Nah,
terrible.
it was basically.
But the teacher,
it
the
wasn't-
math teacher, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Dude,
Mr.
for real?
Mr.
Wait.
Stipe.
Yeah.
Stipe. Yeah, that's it.
He taught there at Bryan and Stratton.
No
I
way.
saw him in the lobby one day. Yeah.
Just
and I-
right
and I-
after high
Recognized
school,
you?
basically.
Yeah, and I talked to him. Yeah, I said hello and everything.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor
He
soul.
he taught there.
I
And
mean, it's
then
probably better than Brown
and then
Deer.
there was a girl who's like in like a grade under us. Like I'll tell you her name after, I guess, if I can remember, because I think I'm Facebook friends with her. But basically, her
Put it in
mom.
chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. But her mom also taught there. And she was actually my teacher. Fucking, I don't know her last name.
Oh, yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not
Her
not
mom was
not
a teacher? I didn't
not
even know
not
that.
the one. You're not the. I feel like
I
like
I
there's
think I
certain.
know
one.
what you're talking about.
I feel like there's certain things I can't say.
Was
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yep.
I didn't
Sorry,
even know
guys.
there.
Sorry, people
Wait,
listening
there's
to this.
Okay,
I might be thinking of someone else. But anyway. But yeah,
I didn't know
basically,
her last
her
name.
her mom taught there and was my teacher for like an accounting class or something. I don't remember what it was for, but yeah, that class had the worst students in it of all time. Like, holy,
Damn.
the worst.
I think I remember you telling me about that. How you would answer questions and everyone thought you were like a genius.
Because you weren't talking in like heavy slang or something.
Yeah, yep. That's basically my black experience. Yeah, I've
Everyone-
never felt
Everyone thought you were a genius.
Yeah,
I've
like,
literally
yeah.
never felt whiter than being a student at Bryan and Stratton.
And you're
hear
like,
ya.
you're black. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't know that if just from listening to the podcast necessarily.
It was like, this guy sounds white as hell.
And the guy who signed me up for that for Bryan and Stratton, I talked to him on the phone, and he had already pre-marked because they have to mark something to like print it out. Apparently, he had already
Oh,
marked
no.
my race, and given all the options, he marked me as white, and he had never seen me. He had just talked to me on the phone.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He just talked to you on the phone. He's
Yep.
like, I know the people who
So,
go here.
yeah,
and I know
exactly.
anyone who talks like
Yeah,
that.
yes,
Like,
that's exactly
that's
it.
insane.
Yeah, that was his exact experience. He was like, "Nah, man, I know,
That's
I
my
know."
black experience. That was in Milwaukee, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah. I
and it
feel
was
like
right on the
that's
street where
partially
Dahmer had
why.
killed all those people.
Oh my
Where
god.
who?
in West-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
literally on that corner, like on that intersection.
Wow. Was that part of like their sales line? Like, Brian, and
Yeah,
Stratton, right where
Dahmer
Dahmer
was.
killed all those
Yeah,
people.
Bryan and Stratton. Dahmer was here.
I mean, they could do that now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and that would work.
Yeah, it would work.
It probably
People are like,
would.
whoa,
There's
I
there's
gotta
a whole
go."
like TikTok dance called like "Hit the Dahmer."
You said that was my black experience. I can't
It
get over
was.
that line. Like,
It was. That is my
because,
black
like,
experience.
I feel like it hits home for me too. Like, yeah, for sure. I feel like we get looked at as 100% different. Even though, I mean, I feel like my skin is pretty light and I do look pretty different. But like you guys, like that's not fair. Like you are black. Like, yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense. But yeah, you're not treated or necessarily accepted as black in at least Milwaukee's black community, which is like a lot like
I'm not black for any person's black community really. I don't fit
Right,
into any
I
of those.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of changed in the last 3 years or so. I feel
It's
like
getting better.
we're starting to get accepted and invited to the cookout, as they would say.
I
They're like,
I don't
oh,
feel
You
like
just got uninvited.
I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. I don't feel like the black guy that cares about finances is the cookout guy yet. I don't think that guy. I think the black kid who likes anime is starting to get invited to the cookout.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, but that's not me still. Like, so it hasn't come. It hasn't hit me yet. I'm not that. I'm
My
still
bad.
not a. Yeah, my bad.
I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah, you let me know what's up over there. I just want to know.
Yeah.
I just want to know how you guys are eating. That's all.
Oh, it's good, man.
But
you
then,
know.
like, that's the other part. Maybe they just don't invite me to cookout because I wouldn't eat any meat anyway.
yeah, that
Oh,
makes
yeah, that's
sense.
true.
Yeah, no one's inviting you to any
Yeah.
cookouts.
Yeah, I'm not getting invited to anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
at least
another
in your
thing.
case, you know it's not racist.
The food over there is way better. Sorry, guys. Sorry to
It's
let you know.
Oh.
better.
All right, so
Yeah. Like
give me a good, give me like a
everything
good meal for like a good
everything there is
Kenyan
just
meal.
like it's just real. Like you can tell that nothing was like done to it to like nothing was done to bastardize the food in the name of
Oh,
profit.
mm,
Everything is just like actual like
bastardize.
yeah.
Bastardize the food
He's
in
not
the
even
name of
saying that it's
profit.
cooked to perfection. He's just saying it wasn't destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, this actually came out of the ground, or like, oh, this animal was actually like breathing a couple days ago.
He's like, look, a clean hunk of beef. Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's
because it was
great.
weird. It was like I could there was a noticeable difference like once I came back and like I started eating here, like I didn't feel like good at all. Like it
Like,
was
it's like,
it's like,
what?
oh yeah, so
What can you compare?
it would be like as if you have a Lambo and you are using like premium gas, and then you like came to Milwaukee and you put in unleaded from the mobile on Fifth and
No, I mean, that's a good analogy, but I mean, like, what did you eat? And like, like, I'm sure you had something with rice. So like, is the rice like different than like the rice that you just eat here per se? I guess.
Yeah, I would say so. Because like a lot of the rice that you get here, unless you go to like an Indian restaurant or something, it's like they just use minute rice. Like I can tell this rice was microwaved or like half
Mm.
cooked by the time that you got to it.
Yeah.
But like no, everything there, it's like I know someone like went to the grocery store, literally like maybe even 30 minutes ago,
Oh,
and like got
wow.
the ingredients for this. But yeah, to answer your
That's
question,
pretty
John.
good.
I would
Okay.
say like one of the like main staple dishes over there is like collard greens. Like that's what they would call it here
Ah,
in
Okay.
America. Yeah.
Collard greens.
I hate
So
collard
like
greens.
yeah. So
God
sorry.
damn it.
I like greens. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they are really good, but they're like especially good over there.
So what do they do to
Um.
them? Do you know?
No, I couldn't tell you.
Mm,
They
And
just
even if I
interesting.
could, I don't think I would like let you know in a public setting like this.
it's a it's a well kept industry secret.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
they
give
I
away
know
all
they
their
do it
secrets
different
yet.
in America because like we have like the southern influence on all of our green products and like at least that's
Yeah,
the greens I've always known.
it doesn't taste anything like that. Like not even close.
Okay, interesting. Wow. I'm kind of jealous
Yeah,
now.
I'm trying to think like what is. I mean, there are like plenty of vegetarian or vegan stuff over there too, but like I wasn't eating a lot of that because I still eat meat. So um, yeah, I'll get back to you on that, John.
Alright.
But I mean, they have anything that you could want, they have over there. Like you can find a restaurant or it'll be at the grocery store. So
Why does it look like you have cat ears on? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Me?
Yeah. I was just like looking at your video, but I realized that's like the symbol. Like when you had your head close to that triangle,
Oh,
it
I
looked like
see.
your
Oh
headphones have
yeah,
cat ears.
haha.
I was like, haha, gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know what else to add. What was the last thing that you asked me?
Just something to compare it to. But I guess like you described it, like the greens are just different. Like I guess it's different, and then like obviously the fresh analogy hasn't been bastardized in the name of capitalism. or
But I
profit.
feel like when people, I kind of actually really hate it when people would describe food as fresh here, because I don't think they actually mean that. What they mean, it seems like what they mean is that, oh, this is fresh in the sense that someone had to like open the can or like cut this fruit today, and
What?
that's what people think fresh is. It's like, oh yeah, like the food at that restaurant was so fresh. I can tell that they cut the fruit right there. It's like, what does that mean? Just because they cut just because they cut the fruit there, that's what you think fresh is?
Yeah, because it was handled recently.
Yeah, but like actually what I mean by fresh is like I can like I know the dude who grew this fucking pineapple. Like yeah,
Wow,
it's like that, but everywhere.
that's pretty nice. That
Yeah.
sounds that sounds like an experience.
I feel like there's pockets of America that are like that, but it's not obviously at all common in cities for that to be the case. Like there are places here where there's like regular just I don't want to call them farmers markets, but like places where they all just set up fucking
That's
shop and
true.
sell all
Yeah.
their shit, and like then there's a local like a local butcher or something. Like there are places like that, but they're definitely not the norm. So
Yeah,
So
you
let
have
me
to
ask
have money to
yeah.
like find
let
places
me
like
let me ask you guys. So think about a pineapple that came from like a Dole truck and got delivered to Kroger, and someone put it like on the fruit stand that morning, and then like you went and got it like right after the grocery store opened.
Uh-huh.
So you get one of those pineapples, or like how you were saying, John, there's like a farmer's market and someone there like has pineapples for sale, and you go there and buy one like I don't know near the end of the market time, like at 3 o'clock or something. To you, which one seems more fresh?
The market one.
yeah, the last
The
one,
the one at the market.
the
Okay.
farmers one.
Yeah.
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 Because one I know it traveled it didn't travel nearly as far, so it gives me the impression that it's spent less time out of the earth, which would also make me think that it's fresher.
Yeah, it spent less time getting
Yeah.
bastardized,
Yeah, bastardized.
bastardized in the
Yeah.
name of profit.
Bastardized and profitable transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was no right or wrong answer. I was just curious if you think about it the same way I do. But
Nah,
yeah,
man. Fuck that
I
Dole truck.
really I would really like people to stop using fresh in that
Yeah,
way.
that
Like
is
why don't you
true.
say
In the Dole
Like
truck
a
way?
nice warmed up can of SpaghettiOs is not fresh. Like that's just
but
a
some people
warm
would say
can
that. It's like,
of
yeah, I got a
spaghetti.
fresh bowl of pasta today. It's like, no,
Like
you didn't.
no, that is not. Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah,
But that's
that's
true. I would agree.
that's
Like
tough. I would
people do say
say
fresh
it's
like that.
possible to have fresh pasta, but again, like it would have to have been made with ingredients that day. Like that's the only way I would ever consider pasta fresh. Because like, pa- if it's a day old, pasta's old. Like, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel that's how I feel about it. Like I feel like every food has like a
Have
shelf
either of you
life.
guys made your own pasta before?
yeah.
No, I have never done that.
I've definitely never done. It looks way too
There's
tedious,
never
honestly.
there probably
How hard is it? Is it even worth it, Gouda?
I don't think it's worth it. But
yeah
yeah, it's like kind of fun. It's like I don't know if you
Like,
really
does
have
it
like
really taste different? Like, I've never tasted
yeah,
like
yeah it's gotta
it
taste
does.
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, does it taste better?
It tastes different. It kind of just depends
Okay.
on like what you're into, really.
Because like when I watch cooking shows, chefs like they like live and die by that. There's like you
Hmm.
cannot use
Yep.
like pre-made pasta. You have to make the pasta here.
Yeah.
Like it's like really like
Yeah, man.
I've never I guess as far as I know, unless I've had like fresh made pasta at a restaurant possibly, but I didn't even know that
I
honestly.
would say it's like the difference between white and wheat bread. Like they're
And
both
which
bread,
is the
but
white?
the white
White
is like
is
dry pasta.
yeah yeah yeah
Okay.
yeah. White is manufactured bullshit.
Yeah, wheat
I
Okay.
bread,
mean
that's like fresh pasta. But like some
yeah
people don't like the taste of wheat. They think it tastes
Yeah.
like
yeah
dirt. So
Just like, oh, what is this realness? I can
Yeah.
taste the actual wheat.
And something you
yeah,
should consider too is like, even if you don't think certain foods that are fresher taste better, is it really that you don't think they taste better, or have your taste buds just been so bastardized by the by the
And then you
capitalist
stop.
machine that you don't even know what real tastes
Yeah, we should name this
yeah,
episode "Bastardized in the Name of Profit."
yeah, bastardized in the name of profit.
Like sometimes you come up with some good like phrases, like just like where did you hear this, or how do you come up with this? This is the English major, everyone.
yeah. I guess so.
But you were saying that stuff even before college, I remember. Like even in high school you'd be like spitting out like even in middle school you'd be saying stuff like that. And I'd be like, I've never even heard that word before. And then I would hear you say something like, where could you have possibly heard such things? Like you must have been watching the most weirdest documentaries as a kid.
Yeah, that's a great point. I should. I don't know. Yeah, I was watching. I watched a lot of educational stuff when I was young. Like, do you guys remember Zoom? Send it to Zoom, baby.
I never watched that.
Zoom?
Yeah,
No, I don't think I know what that is either.
it was like on PBS. It was a show where it was like a bunch of preteens hanging out and doing like educational experiments. It was, it was,
Interesting.
it was actually very lame, but I thought it was fun.
Like that's crazy. And like both of your parents, like their first language isn't even English, but yet you know English better than me, who I know nothing but English. Like and it seems like it's almost always been that way. Like how the heck did that happen?
Well,
Like
I think there's your answer because if you have two people that haven't spoken English, like that isn't their primary language, and then they come here and realize how important it is to speak English, don't you think they would impress that onto their children that they should speak really good English?
oh, so there's been like encouragement, like extra encouragement from your parents to like speak good English.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Like
Interesting.
they, yeah, they want me to be mistaken for a white person on the phone, just like what happened to John. Like, yeah,
Okay.
like so. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
like
This
every
is
black parent's.
probably yeah. This is probably like no. It's this is probably another conversation for another time. But like you have to put yourself in their perspective. Like they've left like their home country to come here and raise a family, and probably the last thing that they want to happen is for us to become like game bangers and like so
Yeah, that would totally suck. Like, why did they even leave if that would have happened? Yeah,
yeah, there was like an expectation that we would be the best citizens that we can be.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I also had that expectation. And then my mom would also, like, I think put an emphasis on, like, speaking good English. But I did go through a phase, like, when I was, like, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 in that age, where, like, I was watching maybe too much like black shows on TV, and I was like at that time like I was talking like a black person. I can't even do it today, honestly. It's really weird like thinking back at it because like I would like talk like how I heard like people on like the shows we would watch like Family Matters. Is that a show? I think that's a show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like we used isn't that like a show with black people, I'm pretty sure.
Family Matters,
Right?
they were just speaking plain English,
Yeah, they're
man.
they're speaking normally in Family Matters though.
Yeah, there was nothing
They are?
crazy going on there.
Actually, that's kind of the selling point. They were kind of like the black family that wasn't, stereotypically black.
Maybe
Like
it was all
maybe
the music videos like
were you watching
MTV.
like Martin?
Mm.
Maybe you could get a little bit
Mm,
more.
yeah,
Money.
I've seen a
Yeah,
little bit of that. Yeah.
or the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing them and stuff. So yeah, honestly, I don't even remember. Like I was so young. I don't know what influenced me. And my parents and my brother, neither of them talk that way. And I remember they would look at me like sometimes like after I would say some of the stuff and they'd just be like, "What the fuck? Like where did he get that from? Where is he getting any of this from?" And like I remember asking about them asking them about that later. And they're just like, yeah, we were getting worried about you for a second there. Like, it's like, what's
Getting
happening to our
worried.
kid? Like, why is that? Why is he talking like that now? But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, That is really weird. But like now I can't talk like a black person. I can't blend in with like that like culture like language, not even for a second. So like I don't know what happened during that time, but I was picking up on something
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, you said like I get that's another thing I'm not gonna forget about this episode. You said that was my that's pretty much my black experience.
Yeah,
Just you
it is.
talking, and then every person in the room thinking that you were the smartest person ever. Just because you were talking. Like that's so terrible. Like that's hilarious. Like
Yeah.
that is absolutely hilarious.
Like, yo, you hear this guy?
Yeah.
Mr. Harvard in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
got Harvard.
see, like the way that you made it sound, it made me seem like, yeah, like he's a
Uh,
genius, and that's something that people actually care about. It's like, look at this stupid motherfucker trying to be smart. Like that's how it actually was.
Yeah, that.
right.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, this guy thinks he's better than us because he's
Yeah.
talking normal,
Yeah, because
like
he
trying
answered the
all
question that
hard.
was asked directly to him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
assume that's only because for them, just like it is for me, it would be trying hard if I were to talk like a black person per se. So like for them, it's trying hard to talk like a white person per se. But for you, that's all you know. So then the moment you're opening your mouth and you're only saying that, there's like, look at this fake ass mother. Like,
Yeah.
like no, dude, like you don't know any other way of talking.
This
Like
fake
that's just
mother.
how you talk.
Yeah, I'm just a guy.
Yeah, you're just a person.
That's all.
Yeah, that's my black experience.
It is, yeah, man.
That is too funny. And like I think that's so funny because I'm the same way. Like my mom like had to purposely like keep me away from her black family, her black side of the family because that's kind of like how they saw us and
Yeah.
like they would like kind of like bully us because of that essentially like I mean, not so much. I mean, I was too young, so like I wasn't a part of that. But like more so, my brother and my dad, like, yeah, they did not like them.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
and it's
crazy.
funny because like my dad's side of the family has a lot. He has like 9 brothers and sisters, and like they all have kids, but like they're all so much blacker than I am. Like even the most articulate of the entire group, I feel like is so much more like with the culture than I am. That like I don't feel comfortable. Like so we all get together for like parties and shit. I talked to a few of them just in passing and just like, hey, have you been? Good, bye. But like, we never like hang out. So they're all dapping it up. They're all talking about everything that's going on and shit. And I have no idea what's going on with any of them. I have no
Dude,
idea.
I could just imagine you in that
Yeah.
scenario, like with your face as straight as
Yeah.
ever, being like,
And
when is this
the
over?
craziest part is that one of them actually started like a whole cousins group chat. So like there's like 21 of us on a fucking group chat, and they're all just messaging about people and their families. I have no idea what's going on in that motherfucker. I don't know what's happening. I have no clue, and I will never know because I'm never gonna utter a word in there.
The moment you say something, if it's not the perfect context
Yeah,
and
and
grammar,
I've
they're
literally
gonna tear
tried
you
like
apart.
several times to start typing a message, but immediately deleted it. Partially out of fear that I was gonna accidentally hit send, and like, but also partially that I had thought of something up and it was just gonna flop and no one was gonna say anything, and I was just gonna be left out of the group forever. So like,
Like
I've like
this
written
white
this
ass
out in my
dude.
head several times, but never ever sent anything. I'm just like,
Nah,
it's
man, they
not
saw
worth it.
that shit. They saw the dots. They're like,
Yeah,
dot,
they're
dot,
like,
dot.
shit.
They're like, holy shit, Sanji.
Yeah, and a lot of them have Android phones, so that's it. It literally, it's like
Uh,
Android and Apple. That's what it is.
yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the moment you said something wrong and it sounded too white, they're like, "Who invited the police to this conversation?"
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's so weird. I don't know.
Police.
Yeah, I just can't have natural conversations about things I care about with them. And that's the tough part with me and a lot of black people because the things that they get excited about, part of that is like a culture thing, but also part of it might be like a maturity thing. Like the things I get excited about just aren't things that they care at all about. So
I
I don't
feel
know.
like
I
the
hear you.
part, at least, I don't know, the part that I am so bad at is like when they make fun of each other and like ribbon or doing the rounds or
Ribbon.
however you want to say it. Like I'm just not good at that. Like I can take it. I don't get mad when people do it to me, but I just like kind of laugh and just like that's it. Like I'm so bad at comebacks. I just don't have any comebacks. and I feel like that kills the vibe of the group. Like when it gets to my turn and like they all start making fun of me and then I don't say anything back and I just laugh. I think it makes them feel like they might be bullying me and then they start to feel bad. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, why is this guy making me feel bad? Like, I don't say anything to make him feel bad. Like, I'm just trying to have a good time and I think it's like funny, honestly, like what they're saying. But like, I think when I
Yeah,
don't,
that's
if you don't say something back, that must mean you're taking it personally. And
yep.
like, I'm not taking it personally. I just don't have good comebacks. So like, there's just, yeah, I just don't get along like instantly. They're just like, this kid's weird. Like, just like he's weird. let's just get out of here. Let's, yeah, no.
Let's just get out of here. What?
Yeah, there's like we can't trust this guy. Like we can go do our ribbing somewhere else, but like he's not one of us or something, basically. So yeah, like when you say that's my black experience, like that, like I experienced the same thing too, and it's just hilarious. Like, and I for some reason it's just more funny imagining you go through it because like you often have a straight face like more often than I do in like social situations because like sometimes you don't give a fuck, but like I'll at least like paste on like the fake smile just to keep things like somewhat less awkward. But like sometimes you just don't care, and like imagining you in those situations is just like extra funny for some reason. But like yeah, I also feel it like that exact expression like that you would probably be having like that is what I'm feeling real in real life like on the inside when that happens. So like yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, it's a rough existence for sure.
Yeah, I know that face because before like I was friends with you and you would be in Mr. Stipe's class and me and Gudo were just like being wild as fuck.
God,
You would
he
have
got
that face all
braided
the
to death, man. That poor man.
yeah, you were just like, why are they putting all of us through this? Like, yeah, you'd just be shaking your head like, what? Like, can I just ignore these people and just like try and figure out this unit circle thing so I can pass this class?
Yeah,
You're like,
all I was
bro,
trying to
I'm
do was
failing.
pass. Yeah, literally, I barely escaped. Like I got a D in that fucking class. I
Yeah,
barely escaped.
same. Same, I got a D. Like a D minus. Like, and I needed to pass that class to
Oh,
graduate.
holy shit.
Oh, yeah, but I was, yeah, just like the worst. Just screaming Star Wars quotes at the most random time.
Yeah, and fucking Wookiee noises. Fucking hell.
Too
Dude,
funny.
like, what the heck? He like played along. We were like, "Oh, Mr. Snip, the floor is lava," and he's like, "Okay." It's like, what? We're like almost grown as adults. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he was trying everything. He was like, how do I get these kids to like actually respect me? Oh man. Yeah, it was futile.
It was just too funny. It was
It
too
was.
easy for funny things to happen in that class.
Right. That's what I think he just has to get angrier. But then again, if he would have got angry, like,
Wait, you took
would we
that?
have just thought it would have been funny? I'm not
But I
sure.
mean, we did that to Mr. Harrell too.
You did that? That class
That's
was the
true.
year that you
That's
graduated?
true. Yeah, that was senior year for sure. Because I
Was it?
needed to pass that. If I didn't pass, I wasn't gonna graduate. Like, there's no way around it. I remember. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like we
Wow.
graduated that summer. Like,
I
Oh
think
wow.
like for the math class that we started at freshman year, that was like as far as you could go. Like pre-calc was like the keystone like class.
but you needed 4 years to graduate of math
Hmm.
in Brown Deer, which basically means you have to pass your math class every single year in Brown Deer, otherwise you're gonna not graduate on time,
Yeah.
or have to take summer school
You have to
if
take a summer
you
school class.
flunk
Yeah.
one of the earlier
I
ones.
took
But
a
if it's a
summer school
senior
class
year,
there.
you're missing it. Really?
I don't even remember what it was for, but yeah.
Did it further your black experience?
No.
Wow.
You said no?
No.
Oh,
Actually, I
okay.
remember summer school being really a lot more manageable. Like it felt much more natural because the like class was small and like it was only really like half the day. So like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like I was really missing anything, honestly. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like you just go hang out
Wait,
for like an hour.
wait. So if that was senior year, then I managed to get a D in that class and still get like most improved student. That's absolutely nuts.
Most improved, you got that?
Yeah.
You don't remember
So
that?
did
Yeah.
people just
Well,
think you were dumb
you
before?
only
It's
good
like,
you
look at
only
this
remember
dumbass.
you only remember it because I was sitting right next to you.
but still, that's outrageous. Can you like? It
And
just
and
it
my
doesn't
hair
make
was
sense
cut
to
in the
me.
craziest way when I
Yeah,
had
you
to
had that
stand up on
mohawk.
when I had to stand up on stage right there. Yeah, I was just sitting there with all that craziness. Just
Most improved.
yeah, you don't remember that?
No, not really. Like I kind of do vaguely, maybe, but like
So like the
I
seniors get awards for like I don't know, all types of weird stuff, but one of them is most improved. And it's like while all the seniors are sitting like in the first few rows and then the
yep,
rest almost the rest of the school is like in the
yep.
surrounding area. So they're giving all these awards and they're like, yeah, so this is for the most improved student, someone who might have struggled in the beginning and clawed their way back. And they're just explaining like how you had to have been really bad in the beginning, and then you figure out a way to like make it and not be a failure. So like as they're explaining it, I turned and like it's so funny because Good and I didn't talk before this at
Yeah, we
all.
were not
Yeah,
friends.
We
you were
weren't
not
friends. And I turned to him
You
and
were
I
just
said,
acquaintances.
yeah, I was like, I turned to him. And for some reason, I just felt like I should say something about it to him. So I turned to him. I'm like, I bet you that's gonna be me. And
Yeah.
You said that before
Yeah,
they announced
yes,
it?
I
He
did.
said that. He
Yes,
said that exactly, and
I
I was
did.
like, okay.
And he was just like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like, oh, that's weird. And it was just
Listen,
like,
I just
and
know
they're
it's
like,
And then it
coming.
happened, and then like
and
your
they were like
face, you were
John
like,
Gray, and I was just like, I was like, oh fuck. So I had
That's
to get up
hilarious.
on stage while they talk about how much I've improved and what like teachers say about you and your work ethic, and I'm sitting up there with a fucked up haircut from fucking track or whatever.
Yes, that's right, because you all shaved your head.
Yeah, we get all fucking mohawked up just for fucking state or whatever it is. And I'm just standing there, and the whole school's just staring at you, knowing how much of a failure you used to be, and you figured out a way to graduate so that you didn't have to work in a factory.
No, the teacher was like, and this next student, they were very dumb. They were just one of the dumbest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But now they're not. So like that's really great. And you're
Yeah.
like, wow, what a fucked up.
yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
no,
kind of
that's
can't
funny.
believe they did that.
Yeah.
Like, no one
It
needs
wasn't
to know
that bad,
that
but,
you
like-
Yeah,
struggled.
no. Before that, you would have never. If I just
I
graduated,
would've
you would
known.
have known.
Yeah.
Like you just
Literally.
ousted
No
me
idea.
to the entire school, and
No
you didn't
one would
even
have
care.
ever suspected anything.
All in the name of fucking awards. This is why awards never go
Yeah,
anywhere
they just
good.
called you out.
Yeah, man, I thought you were smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh, apparently this guy was struggling like that. I'm like,
But okay, so you know
you
what's
should have
crazy?
asked for help. I would have let him cheat a little bit.
You know what's crazy about that? I had the exact opposite experience for like
Aw.
college. Like everyone I met who I talked about ACT scores and shit with, all were like hella surprised that I got anything in the 20s. Like Danielle, and if Danielle, if you listen to this, yeah, I beat you, so fuck you, gotcha. No, I'm just I'm just
Wow.
kidding. I love you. No, but like I
Good
make
old
fun of her
rivalry.
all the time because when I first told her we were talking about ACT scores, she's like, "What did you get on the ACT?" And I think she said when I asked her, she said like 25, and I think I got a 26. I got one, whatever it was, I got 1 point ahead of her. And when she heard the number that I got, she immediately turned to me and was like, "Really?" Like she couldn't believe that I could have possibly have been smart. Like there's no chance. Now, in her defense, when she met me, I was like flunking out of college, but but still,
That
like,
makes sense.
but like, I don't think in any capacity, even if I'm not in school, I present to regular people on the street like I couldn't get a good like score on a test.
Dude, I don't remember what I got. It was really bad. Like I don't
But see,
remember,
like, it
but
doesn't
was
even
so
matter,
bad, I
like-
feel like I erased it from my memory. Like, could it be like a 19? Is that possible?
I think that's normal,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's possible.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what I might have got. Like 19 something. Which
But,
is like
like-
super, like at least I consider it to be super bad. And like I was friends with all the smartest kids. Like the top 10 kids in our grade.
Wasn't there
was our
someone who
friend
got like a
group.
34 in our class?
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
like
Yeah,
Adam
like, that's
and
insane.
Yeah,
fucking-
what the fuck?
and JC and Jasmine. Yeah, like
Oh
what
my
did you get,
God.
Guda?
I got a 27, but I got a 24 the
Just
first
See,
really
like
good.
he's balling. And I don't even
Yeah,
think I
like,
actually got
you're
a 26.
balling.
I actually think I got like a 25. But I know I didn't get 27. That's fucking. You're knocking on 30 now.
But I had to take it twice. So
Yeah, I took it 3 times, and I only went up 1 point every time.
You took it 3 times?
Yeah, my
Oh, I
parents
only
are just
took it once.
my parents are just like, just keep taking it. They just fucking kept paying for it. They're like, the more chances you get, the better.
Oh.
Dude, I couldn't stand it. I remember the last like hour and a half, I just started checking answers like at random because it was so long and I was tired. I was like, I'm done. Like this is ridiculous. I was like, I don't even care about college. Like if this is what you have to do, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So that probably contributed to like my terrible score, I'm sure, but like yeah,
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 the
that was
science
rough.
part of that test was also always the worst for me.
You said the
I
science part?
Yeah, there's like I don't know what like the categories are, but I feel like there's at least three or four, and like I know there's like a science or maybe like applied science portion or something where you have to talk about not talk about, but you have to like get the right answers for maybe like chemicals or I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's something science related.
don't remember that. That
What are
might
the
be
part?
on there.
What are the names of the
But I
parts?
just remember a lot of like English related questions and they were getting
Yeah,
really
English
annoying.
was
And
fucking
I was like,
serious.
you know what? I don't know. The answer is my butt. That's the answer.
My
Yeah,
butt.
there was reading and like composition, so you had to
Yeah,
like write
compositions.
twice.
Ugh,
Mm,
brutal.
just
And
compose.
I didn't know how to write essays because like they put me on the dumb classes in middle school. While the rest of you got to learn how to actually write, and then there's like, we're gonna learn how to plan a party. Like, how is that an English thing? Like,
I don't
what?
know. I think I think honestly that's the only reason why I got a high score because I did well on all the writing portions and like the essays. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
all of you guys were on who had what was her name? I don't even know. She was like the
Miss
boot camp
Krosky.
of English. Yeah, Miss Krosky.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
science
she would
section.
whip everyone into shape. There is a sciences.
Hmm. There's a whole science section. 40
Yeah.
multiple choice questions.
Do you know of any of the questions? Does it show you like a sample
I
question?
think so, yeah. Let me try to click one. Oh no, it's not nope. It just says there's charts and graphs, experiments, and then like opposing viewpoints. So
Hmm.
that's what they're categorizing as science.
And this is for the ACT?
Hmm. That's the only one that I took because whoever I talked to said that the ACT was way more important than the SAT unless I was
Dude.
going to some like crazy high caliber school.
Okay, here's an example ACT science question. A scientist is investigating how the acidity of water affects the growth rate of fish. She designs an experiment in which she measures the growth rate of fish in water with pH values ranging from 5 to 8. Which of the following would be the best control group for this experiment?
Yeah.
A fish in the water with a pH of 6, and then B is a pH of 7, C 8, D 9, and E 5. Like, what do you mean? Like, which of the following would be the best control group for this experiment?
I think
Like, what
it's
are you
five.
talking about?
It's E, isn't it? Wait, she said the pH is from 5 to 8?
Yeah, the
But
values
see,
are
like,
ranging
there's so
from
much
5
you have
to
to
8.
already know
Okay.
about science to understand that question. Like, you have to
Yeah.
understand that acidity would lead to what higher pH levels, I guess. Is that how that works, or is it
It
lower?
says the correct answer would be B, a pH of 7.
Seven,
The
right in the
control
middle.
group in this experiment should be the group that is used as a baseline for comparison, as it should be kept under normal, unchanged conditions. I don't even understand. In this case,
So like,
the control group with the
Okay, yeah.
7 is considered neutral within
right? So
the
it's in because it's in
range
the
of the
middle.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in the
That's
middle.
just,
Okay.
yeah, it's in the middle, but underneath the middle.
Hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, so you just have to know what a control group is and how it works. That's stupid.
And you have
Whatever.
to
This
know
is
like
useless.
which direction the pH meter goes.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, you have to understand all of that first before you even get to the question.
Like imagine that, having to know science on the science test. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Who
That's no science.
who even? I don't even want to do science. Fuck it, man. I'll leave that to the scientists.
uh,
That's what I should
Oh,
have wrote
shit.
in for all the fucking science questions. I should just wrote across the whole fucking multiple choice. I don't want to be a scientist. Over and over and over on every page.
Dude, in one of my college classes that I like just started giving up on at the end, it was like I think it was actually the C++ programming one. Like it got to be so bad, and I knew that I just wasn't gonna make it. Where like I showed up to like one of the exams, and then like there was a question where it's just like most of the questions I just didn't know anymore, and I knew there was absolutely no possible way I would ever pass this in any way, shape, or form. So like I just drew a big like bear over the question, like, and I colored it in so you couldn't see the question, and then I said, I don't know the answer to this question because I can't read it because there's this big bear in the way.
Oh my god.
And then when I got the test back, like the teacher was just like, "Ha, that's kind of funny, but you get a 0." Like,
Yeah.
and he like wrote that on the test. He's like, "Ha, that's
Yeah.
a nice bear, but you get
He
a
was like,
0."
ah, that's a pretty funny joke. You know what else is funny? This 0 that you're about to get. You know what else makes me chuckle? This is writing this 0 on your paper.
This big 0.
Ha ha. Jesus Christ.
He's like, "Nice bear, 0."
What a savage. He couldn't even give you like 1 point for. He could have still flunked you
Yeah.
with points, and he just gave you a 0. That's
But I
nuts.
deserved it. I knew nothing. Like,
I guess if the
literally
question is
nothing.
just pass or fail, like you get the points if you get it right and you don't if you don't, then I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. I'd feel like I'd give a
I
few
don't think it
points for
was.
a good
I think
joke.
it was like a yeah, it was like a system where he could have gave me some more points, but he didn't.
I would give my students a couple points. I would still fail them, absolutely, but I would still give them a couple
Yeah.
points, just so you could tell yourself, like, yeah, you passed with like a 20%.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
for creativity.
Yeah, but like you failed, for real, you failed. But sure, you got 20%. That's fine.
Yeah, that 1 point would have like changed anything besides your self-esteem. So he even
Yeah.
lost you at that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
He's oh,
Exactly.
he's absolutely savage.
Except for your self-esteem, yeah.
What a guy.
Oh shit. All right. Oh man, we made this podcast 2 hours long now. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully our viewers. I mean, honestly, like the last half hour was just like us fucking around. I mean, the whole thing is, but whatever.
Yeah.
You mean the podcast?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole podcast is.
I think I only made it like 1/4 through my entire like journey. So
One
Yeah.
fourth.
yeah.
This is gonna be like a story arc of the season, like.
Yeah,
this
it can be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
That's
You
Like
can just
next
start
week
with
on It's
yeah,
Basically
it's just
Monday.
chronicles of Kenya.
Gouda finally gets to the destination outside of the city.
Yeah. I mean, that was an adventure, so yeah, there's just so much, man. Like, just yeah, so much.
There's a lot lot
Yeah.
you see in a month.
Yeah.
Definitely next time, hopefully. If John wills it, he's hosting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, more chronicles.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll wrap it up there. This is a good run. Guess we'll talk to you next time on It's Basically Monday. See you
Yeah.
next time.
Happy birthday, John.
Bye. Thanks.